I guess we'll cut to the chase. Injury-wise, where do your guys stand right now, Leuven, Klaus?
Yeah, I mean, probably the update with Klaus is probably 4 weeks, and Leuven probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow. So Klaus, in addition to everything he's already had now, 4 more weeks for Klaus?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
I'm not the medical specialist,
Yeah.
so I couldn't give you some medical explanation, but, you know, that's, we have to respect that and the professionals who handle that department. So, yeah, another 4 weeks.
So basically then, like after Leagues Cup?
Yeah, pretty much. But again, I look at, you know, positives and I turn the page pretty quickly, right? Just to think that we go down to Nashville, and yeah, we see many great things for a lot of the game, you know, so it shows we have some room to grow, you know, and it almost had like a feeling of something's on the line with that game. 2 top teams from cross conferences going out against each other, and yeah, to see what the guys put out there. Really proud of those boys for many minutes of that game. And, you know, yeah, I think the statistics speak for themselves. Nashville shut out many opponents at home, and XG at home historically is probably a 0.9. We get a 1.8 with a man down 20 minutes to go. So just thinking about creativity and movement and flexibility, and I thought our front 4 guys did really well.
Knowing now that you don't have Leuven for 4 to 6 weeks and Klaus for 4, what moves planned? I mean, now that it's a more permanent thing that Leuven will be out?
Yeah, we have to be a little bit flexible, you know, so, I mean, and it started with the game plan, you know, against Nashville, playing with the midfield that we did. We thought that we were quite productive and putting guys in spots and getting guys like Indy to do double, you know, both jobs, 6 and an 8 and a 10. Jared Stroud, the same thing, 6 and 8 and a 10. So we enjoyed that. We liked what we saw. And then with Indy as a double 6 can always operate. We got Jubs back on an express flight back, so to be an option and availability. So see how he gets back into action, you know. So he's just basically touchdown now. So yeah, as one goes, one comes.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, so with Jobs, the timing was going to be tricky, but you still think he could, because just thinking like body time for him, what it's going to be like on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think we've seen many players all over the world, you know, do this, and you see it at top leagues. Top players have the ability to, you know, flick the switch. And the good thing for Jobs is, you know, despite the time zone, he didn't, you know, play many minutes. So he kept training rhythm, which is good with his national team. But he didn't feature in the match. So at least he'll be fresh and energized. You know, we just have to get him up to speed with his body. Yeah.
And I didn't get to ask you about this the other night, but Miguel Perez's play on Saturday night, being thrust into a situation against a difficult team like Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, for many moments of the game, you know, yeah, we thought Miguel would have a lot more to do with Hani Mukhtar. You know, Hani was more on the back line and drifting between the two lines, you know. Yeah, I think during the run of play, you look at some moments where we do a real good job on Hani Mukhtar, and it's not a one-man job. You know, we rely on 2v1s, 3v1s, and you know, compressing the field of play and making the play predictable. But I thought, yeah, Miggy did. We've thrown Miggy into the lines then a few times, and these are all growing moments for all of us, and we support Miggy along his journey. So yeah, I said it many months ago that. Yeah, Miggy's, you know, in a free run this year, so he can just play free and express himself and use this year as a learning moment and as a growing moment. So, yeah, we believe in development, and Miggy's on top of that list. Yeah.
Looking at Real Salt Lake, they come in a good form. Undefeated the last 3, also undefeated the last 5 away. Is this a different team than the team you guys played back in March?
Yeah, they've become a lot more stingy, right? So they've been a lot more aggressive. You know, I think they've used that game that we played against them almost, you know, visually what we are seeing. They do a good job defensively, right? And they're good in transition. So yeah, we saw the game at the weekend. We know the threats that they can possess. But again, we have to flip the switch really quickly now. You know, the comfort of our own home here, we can regenerate. And get energy, bodies back, minds back, and we go again. So yeah, we're excited about every game we play, and we're excited about the next upcoming schedule.
And with Leuven out, is Max Snyder continue training with the team?
That will be a decision we'll make later on today, just to see. You know, because obviously he was giving good cover for Jabulo, so we'll have to just assess that and see and evaluate rosters and see who's, can go, who can't go. We just have to evaluate that now.
Next we'll go to Matt.
Hey, Coach. So with the news of Klaus and Leuven, are there any considerations to additional injury replacements for either?
We'll see. I mean, obviously, City 2 played, all the way out in Salt Lake, so they're traveling back. So we'll assess that and see who's available. We can call up guys 4 times and give them 2 appearances, per player. So we just have to keep that in mind as well. So again, we want to give guys sort of rewards and keep guys, growing within City 2 and give them minutes where we feel they've, deserved minutes with us and being roster available for us. So we will again evaluate and see how they travel back and get their numbers back together, and then we can make decisions later on today.
And then any consideration to additional injury replacement signings outside of the organization?
Yeah, listen, we know the window's coming up, and we know that there's players available, and we'll assess that and make an educated decision, right? So we're just not going to race into anything. We've achieved so many great things with this group, and 17 match days in, and you'll have to pinch yourself if you look at the season and the roster. So I mean, putting all things into perspective, and that's some of the messaging that we've been speaking about, over the last couple of weeks. Is a lot about perspective, right? And just keeping things as honest and as real as they can be. And knowing how we've grown and where we've gone to, So, yeah, we get some setbacks from time to time, and we look at moments to grow, and we use this past game as a massive moment to grow, but we've been really excited about what we put out there on the weekend. So, yeah, we believe in our players. We've, most goals in the league, or one of the most goals in the league, So we have so many good things going for us, so we don't want to make any rash decisions.
Thank you so much. And just quickly going back to the Nashville game, Coach D, what was the defining moment there, like in terms of game breaking one way or the other? Was that a halftime change or something that happened later on? Is there anything that you would do differently in that particular scenario?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I get the feeling everyone thinks that, the halftime change was a disaster. If we look at XG, what we conceded in the first half was 0.4. If we look at minutes 46 to 69 was 0.2. So we got actually 50% better in terms of our expected goals. We gave away 2 shots on target in the first half, 0 shots in that 25 minutes after halftime, 0 on target. So, things were progressing as we wanted to, right? So just unfortunately, 1 or 2 principal moments in our organization and our compactness. And Schaffelberg, we know, is a quick player. A week prior to that, we saw Kyle Hebert take out Douglas Costa, who's one of the best in the world. So, we trust our players, and that's a big thing that I've been speaking about, is a lot of trust, right? So I cannot change like the weather in terms of decisions or in terms of feelings, because when you let emotions get in the game, then you start making irrational decisions. So, we trust the process, and that's what we believe in.
Coach, with the amount of minutes you've been able to hand out the first few months of the season, do you feel like it gives you more internal options while trying to put a starting 11 together at as early as Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, we believe the system is the winner, right? The system is the winner, and there's been many great coaches, who say, the system is the best playmaker too. So, and we believe that. And if you look at all our minutes accumulated and contributions amongst the roster, you'll see, it's spread out all over. So it's non-reliant on one player, and we've seen that. We've learned to find ways to cope. We've learned to adapt and move on. So I think these are, again, good moments for us to adapt and move on and keep on racking up results. I mean, you look at, if you throw the Dallas game into the segment where it belonged, right? We've gone on a really good stretch of home games, right? Tied against the Galaxy, and then we got 3 before that on the bounce, and we lose on an away game. So we have a good run of form. So that's how we're treating it.
This is your first kind of real midweek game. You had Open Cup games and the Dallas thing. So what are the challenges as you have this short time to do you envision lots of roster change or a few roster changes to rest guys? How are you going to handle it?
Yeah, again, we still have, time in the bank before we make those decisions. So everyone regenerates and comes around different to somebody else. So, we'll evaluate that and see where we go from there. But teams do it in Europe all the time. They play Saturday, Tuesday sometimes. If you look at Champions League, Saturday to Tuesday, we had a short, 45, 50-minute flight to get back from Nashville. So in terms of travel and load and time zones and everything like that, we'll be ready.
Also on the injury front, John Bell has been out. Understand he had a condition.
He did have a condition. He hurt his foot in the cryo chamber. So he's just, we're just checking on that and see how it goes. It's a real uncomfortable when he puts a cleat on. It just, pinches in there. So it's just a discomfort at the moment. Yeah.
So he's out? Is he out right now?
I'm not sure. Yeah, we just, again, have to evaluate that and see how we go.
And Nielsen wasn't out there today. Is anything?
Well, he's accumulated so much load over the last week, right? So, yeah, I think it's normal to fall into a little bit of a pit when you accumulate those loads. So we're just getting him, going along in the right way, not to overload and put, sort of accumulative fatigue on him. So, yeah, we need to get this cadence of thresholds and really finding the peak for him to keep on growing. But he's doing a fantastic job, and we're really happy with his progress.
So if it was 4 to 6 weeks 2 weeks ago, is it now 2 to 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's dependent on his body and what it allows him to do. But based on what I've seen last week, barring any major setbacks, I'm enjoying every day working with him and seeing how he's progressing, because he brings another level for sure, just around the group, with him now on training. I've never worked with him on the field, so now to work with him on the field has been really fun to watch.
Is Sam Adeniran an option in any way?
I mean, that would be within the next 48 hours, almost impossible. But we don't feel that we're quite there yet. Sam's plugging away, doing a few things. He had a slight hiccup with an injury, but then he came back around and scored a couple goals. So, we're always monitoring his progress and evaluating from there. All right.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
All right.
Do you remember? Have you been here before? First? Oh, well, congratulations. It's a big honor, and you'll be talking about it to your kids for years. What was Saturday like for you? It's that big crowd in Nashville, and then get put in the lineup because Edu Leuven is out. What was that like for you out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough game for us. I mean, playing away in Nashville, good team, good fans. I mean, it was difficult to play in, and I think just filling in for Edu, I think, is a big time role for me. But I think I have a lot to learn from that game.
Did you have to do things to keep yourself in check, being in that, not only replacing Edu, but knowing that you're going up against Mukhtar on Nashville?
Yeah, I think our game plan was to stop Mukhtar, and I think he was on our back line, and he did a very good job that game. But I think we stuck to our principles, and we got a lot of development to go.
Were there any nerves out there for you, or are you past that now?
No, not really. I mean, I think I just go out there and play my game and stick to what I do best.
Presumably the biggest crowd you've played in front of, with 30,000?
Yeah, it was that one, or either Austin. Portland. Playing away, it's tough.
Yes, we have reached the half point of the season. You have started some games. You have come in as a sub on others. How would you assess how the season has gone for you so far?
Yeah, I think just coming out to training every day and just working hard every day. But I think for me, just this year is a lot of developing and watching over my games and just learning from the older guys and from what the coaches tell me. So I think just this year is a learning year for me.
And now that you graduated from high school, how has life after high school been for you?
Yeah, it's been the same. I get to sleep in a little bit more, but I think it's just coming out of training and then just doing the same thing, routine every day.
Miggy, was there a moment for you, kind of transitioning from high school kid to professional athlete? Was that fast? Do you look back and wonder how you were able to make that transition as smoothly as you did?
Yeah, I think it was a very hard. It wasn't that hard of a transition for me. I think just going to school and yeah, I mean just going to school and then coming to training. I mean it was yeah.
Miggy, what are some of the ways you think you've developed the most so far this year in MLS?
I think just going out there and competing for me. I think just there's a lot of developing for me in my play, and I think just when I go out to training and before training, just trying to work out and get stronger because I think this league is a competitive league, and I think our team is. I mean, we've been doing good this year so far, so I think we just got to keep on going and making the same routines every day.
Brad was talking about how the way the season is, you have the chance to just play free. Are you feeling free out there? Are you like seizing that opportunity in this way of thinking this is like a free season?
Sometimes, I mean, it depends on their gameplay as well. I think marking and also getting back behind the ball also. But playing free, I mean, I had on their six because Hani Mukhtar would come and drop down sometimes. So I think staying back and coming back in the game is very important.
When you just look at not just for you, but for this team as a whole at the halfway point of the season, what stands out to you about the first, guys are tied for first in the Western Conference at the halfway point. What stands out to you about this experience over these first 17 games?
Yeah, it's been an unreal experience for me also, and I think just as a team, I think just we come out here every day on the training pitch and just as coach says, empty the tank. I mean, I think we do that almost every day, and just getting prepared for every weekend, just every game is a restart button for us. So I think we'll be good for Wednesday.
I'm sure there are plenty to choose from. Any special moments when you think about just the team at large from these first half of the season?
Yeah, I think when we started the season, I think we were doing good, and I mean, in every season there's ups and downs in our season, and I think right now, I mean, top of the table, but I think we still got a lot of growing moments to do.
Certainly not content with what you've accomplished so far.
No, I don't think we're ever satisfied. I mean, I think just as coach says, we're never satisfied with our wins, but we always look forward to a good performance. So I think just going out there every week and just having a good performance.
How was it for you? You had that run where you started a lot, and then I guess Blom came back and got better, where you were on the bench more. How was that experience for you, and did you take anything from it, learn things from?
Yeah, I think the older guys, I think I can learn from them, watching the games back, and I think just from the bench, I mean, I watch how they play also, and I mean, I learn a lot too, so I think it's good moments for me also, just to sit back and watch and learn.
Stamina-wise, or how's this been for you? Because you probably have played more in games or played more games younger, but not at this level of intensity.
Yeah, I think it's difficult when you get in games, and I think it's hard to adapt in those games. But I think I'm getting better as the season goes on, adapting to those games.
Do you have any trouble with playing on a Saturday and playing on a Wednesday?
No, they're all the same to me. When it comes to game day, I'm ready to play.
It's like no, your regen process goes smoothly enough that you can bring it.
Yeah,
later?
yeah. I think I'm ready to go. Yep.